just to hit a couple of highlights. Within a couple of years after that, there had been a lot of rumblings in the community where I live about my change of beliefs, and that's one of my problems. I guess your problem is that I have a hard time hiding what I believe.
But you said you sneak down to Mass.
Yeah, I just, after a while I was going to vigil Mass on Saturday nights before I'd go preach at the church on Sunday morning, and I was, bit by bit I was being drawn. Well, in any case, within about 2 years, I had an honest conversation with my superiors, and it was obvious that I could no longer sign the document that we were asked to sign every year, which said that you believe these things, because I didn't believe them anymore. So they were very kind, very gracious. I wasn't persecuted in the least, but it was time for me to go. So we moved in 1994. We moved to Indiana, where I live currently, and we set up housekeeping. There were a number of other great difficulties that were in our way. Some misunderstanding with a wider range of our family members. Others were obstacles of a personal nature. Others were finding a job. I had a good bit of savings at first, but it dwindled very quickly, and it was very, very difficult.
It's a very difficult...
because I was always overqualified, you see.
Yeah. Well, that's such a difficult issue for clergy converts, particularly married with family. But the Lord brought you through that, and of course now you're working with me in the Coming Home Network. It's important, as you described, this very powerful revelation that you experienced, a new understanding of what you had always done as a pastor, which obviously you couldn't do anymore because of what you believe that is truth and the teaching of the real presence of Jesus in the Eucharist and the way we teach it. It's taught in the Catholic Church. It's probably good at this point to make sure that we get a chance to tell the audience, teach the audience, just briefly, what is it that the Catholic Church means when it says that in the Eucharist is the real presence of Jesus?
Well, I think that I'd like to do that by giving a quotation, if I could, because in fact, what the Catholic Church teaches today is exactly what it's been teaching for 2,000 years. And one example of this, one among many, comes from St. Justin Martyr, who wrote his Apologia around 150 A.D.
So just a little over 100 years after Christ's death and resurrection.
Absolutely.